Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more league racing content on the channel here today. It's been a minute, but we are here with some more PSGL content, and this is the US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. Now, before we jump into the action, I'm going to quickly leave a link to the previous episode, guys, linked up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. So go check out the previous round of the season. We've got, I think, 4 more races after this, so the season is coming towards the end now as we move into qualifying. Now, you might notice in the background, I've got some different camera settings for this race, and the reason for that is actually because I wanted to test out Jarno Opmeer's camera settings. As you guys know, Jarno is the F1 Esports World Champion, and he's been using these camera settings which seem to give him some good pace. And I'll leave a link to a video from his channel, which is the camera settings he uses. I believe he has a video for that. If not, then I do recommend checking out his stream. But either way, yeah, we're here in qualifying, and we set up bank a lap. Currently, we're P13 with our first time lap, and it took me a while to get used to these camera settings. I tried them about 10 minutes actually before the event started, and I'm still kind of getting used to those in many ways, and it wasn't going to happen straight away. Hopefully we'll get better with them over time. I'm still going to stick with the original settings though for, like, you know, career mode content and stuff. But nonetheless then, we're currently 13th. We need to deliver a lap here to get us out of trouble, because right now we're now P14, as I believe the Williams that just went by pushed us down. So here we are then, making our way up towards turn 1, bringing the car over to the right hand side, braking down to 3rd gear, bit of a lock up into the first apex, but we get a pretty clean exit and we find nearly 2/10 straight away. So a good start to the lap. We then head into the S section through here, aggressive over the curbs, trying to keep it almost flat through this entire section. One little downshift, and we're 2/10 up, crossing the first sector intermediate. Now through the final part of the S's, this little right-left over the top of the hill. I didn't quite get the momentum, but still a 1/10.5 up, so we've lost a little bit of time. Now going down towards the hairpin, trying to brake as late as possible, taking a bit of an early apex. I get a bit of oversteer on the exit, which causes me a bit of a time loss, and we lose another 0.5. And so far, we're a full 10th up, which is not great. We're currently P15, and, you know, in danger of being knocked out. Hard on the brakes. At the end of the back straight down to 3rd gear, trying to be aggressive again over these curves as we now go into the drop zone. Easy does it through this double right, tricky section this one to get right, and traction so hard to get down, then into the double lefts through here. Again, important to get traction, which we kind of get, but we're only 2.5 up here. We need a little bit more than this. It's going to be close, so we have to nail the final 2 corners. Currently P17, my teammate Philip Presneder is on the bubble here, so this is a massive lap through the final corner. We're going to try and send it. I didn't quite get the momentum. The exit was really poor. We lost pretty much almost a 10th out of the final corner, and we go P15, but unfortunately by the end of qualifying we got pushed down to P16 as we got eliminated along with our teammate Philip Presneder. So yeah, big surprise, big shock, and a big disappointment. Had I just, you know, matched my previous final corner for my first run, we would have finished P13 ahead of Dario Iemmulo. So yeah, that's extremely disappointing, and both Ferraris out in Q1. Not what I had in mind whatsoever, but the pace wasn't there. I was struggling to convert my practice pace into the actual thing, and like the previous race, I am going through a bit of a bad time right now in terms of the league racing. I'm really struggling to find my pace, you know, and it's really starting to annoy me, and I am feeling a little bit burnt out, you know, with the game and also league racing. I feel like I'm starting to struggle, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can turn around in the race, but USA for me is not a good circuit, so that's part of the reason why I'm struggling. I'm so slow around here, and it's not one of my strong tracks. Either way, not ideal for qualifying, and we're going to start from P16. I'm not going to hold up my teammate Philip Presneder in the race because he is a title rival. Obviously not against myself, but against other people, so I want him to do well and score as many points as possible, so I'll try and help him as much as I possibly can. But nonetheless, that's it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race. Now we move into the race. You can see the weather forecast on screen right now. Medium to soft, alternate strategy, 1 stopper, and I can already tell you it's going to take quite a bit to get the strategy over the line in terms of tyre management. We're going to have to, you know, make sure we keep an eye on the tyres and don't ruin them too much. No rain expected, so we're going to see how this goes. 1 extra lap of fuel, and we're going to crack into the action then as we get towards the end of the formation lap here, and we're going to see if we can try and fight back and fight our way forwards into this race. So here we are on our grid slot, getting ready for the lights to come on here at the Circuit of the Americas. getting those RPMs right in the sweet spot, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. It's actually not a good start. We bogged down a little bit there. You can see Joe and also PSGL getting great starts. We're going to have to go to the inside, which is not where you want to be in turn 1, because you lose a lot of momentum and minimum corner speed. Out of turn 2 there, you can see we've got Warren there on the right hand side in the racing point. I'm going to stay well to the left to avoid having issues there, as one of the cars spins off ahead of us there. I think Williams, Nicolas Mattel, I believe that was, who went off, and Warren got wing damage on the back of Joe, I believe. So we're back up to P17 for now, making our way up through the hill. We've got Vallejo getting out of shape there in the racing point as we head down towards the hairpin. Joe going up the inside of Philip PSGL as we're going to go to the outside. Joe moves across right at the last minute there, and it just throws me offline, and that allows Julian to have a bit of a look up the inside in the Red Bull. Luckily, we managed to stay in front. We're going to just tuck into the slipstream here and try and settle into this race a little bit. I don't want to go too aggressive just yet. I'm still kind of getting used to things and getting used to the camera as well. Everything seems a lot closer than what it is in my other camera. So here we are, as you can see, just tucked in behind Joe and PSGL. We've got Julian and Warren behind, two very aggressive drivers, and something I need to watch out for as we head into the double left-handers. There goes Julian up the inside with an absolute dive bomb, which I just said, you know, two really aggressive drivers. Luckily, I saw it on the way, and we managed to just use the outside line to get ahead. But as you can see, now on to lap number 2. We're going to see if we can try and get past Joe here. As you can see, I get a bit of a better run through the S's. Not quite able, though, to get the move done. And now we lose Nicolas Mattel from the session after his spin on lap 1. Continue on, though, we get a warning there. A bit of a silly one for track limit. Something that I really, really regretted at the time. Just so stupid for me. But I couldn't quite see, because obviously I'm close to the car ahead, so I couldn't quite see the track properly. And those stupid errors tend to happen as we skip on to the end of lap 2 now. Going through the penultimate corner, I just pick up a bit of understeer, and I get a very, very silly warning there again. A bit harsh from the game. I was just correcting some oversteer, which kind of gave me a warning for no reason. DRS now enabled, though, and you see Julian, he's again trying to be aggressive here, using his ERS up towards turn 1. He tries to go up the inside, but I outbrake him quite comfortably and stay ahead for now. We're going to keep him back for a little while longer as we, again, go on to lap 3. DRS now enabled, of course. And you can see I'm just kind of stuck in the DRS train. But then you'll see I get a bit of oversteer, and I'm starting to struggle with the balance. You know, the pace in the car just wasn't there for me in the race, and I was really struggling with car performance and car balance all round. You can see Julian now approaching again, going for another overtake attempt as we head onto the brakes, down towards the heavy brake zone here on the back straight. We managed to go around the outside to get a bit of a tag on the left hand side, but we get the inside line, and again we just about stay ahead, but again more oversteer and more car balance issues as Julian tries to look, but again can't quite get by, and we keep him behind for now. So yeah, a bit of action going on, which is good fun. In the meantime, though, we have actually dropped out of DRS range of Joe because of the overtaking and the battling, so not ideal. And this is why in a DRS train you tend to just follow one another and not go for battles, because you can see now we've dropped out of DRS range as I get a big bit of oversteer there through the right-hander. And yeah, you know, Julian trying to battle with me has cost us both, because we've now dropped out from the cars ahead, and you know, we're in no man's land. Now Julian again is coming back at us here on lap number 6. This time he's got a lot more momentum. I'm going to try and outbrake him again, do the exact same thing. We get forced off track there by the Red Bull, and then into the next right-hander here. I tried to keep my nose in, but we get squeezed and get a penalty. So again, quite aggressive driving, you know, all round from Julian there, and we get a penalty, which I could get that removed, so it's not a big deal. That third warning, and probably the second one as well, could get removed quite easily, so it's not a big deal for us right now. Either way, we've lost the place and we're down to P18, so whatever, let's just crack on with it and see if, you know, if Julian's so aggressive, hopefully he's really fast and he can try and drag us back towards the cars ahead if he's that fast. You know, that's kind of the reason why, you know, what I expect when people go for these moves so aggressively. As we've got Josh Idawu in the pit lane there for McLaren. Only him so far. Only that one car pitting at the moment. So we'll see how that gets on. Either way, we're going to see if we can basically just try and reconnect to the train ahead. That's the plan here. So yeah, Julian's going to drag us along. I'm going to try and save a bit of ERS and see how it goes. Heading through the S section here. And you can see pretty comfortably staying with him so far, but then the issues are going to start to happen here. As you'll see now, through the right-hander, we then flick the car left, and I put the power down in 5th gear and spin. Yeah, Vinala lose the back end. I couldn't believe it. But the car felt horrible in the race. There goes Josh, who's just done a pit stop, and my rears were absolutely fried. And it's so rare that I ever do retire from a race, but this was one of them. You know, that spin, I don't know how it happened. I had no confidence in the car at all. It felt like I was actually driving a 2020 Ferrari, as we got Yari and Jake Benham leaving the pit exit there on lap 8. I'm not going to fight them because they're in their own little battle, so I let Yari go down the inside here. I'm not even going to defend. And shortly after, I'm actually going to let Jake Benham through as well. And this lap, I'm actually going to pull into the pit lane because I really realised, you know, most people, I've done their stops. I'm going to be still a long way back, and it's not going to be a happy ending for us. We've not had a safety car in this league, you know, because the drivers are super high level, and whenever someone does retire, it happens in the pit lane. So as you can see, we are going to go into the pit lane and call it a day for what was an extremely disappointing US Grand Prix, and one to forget, to be honest with you. It's a shame, you know. I put a lot of practice in for this one. I spent the whole morning of that day and also after lunch as well, just putting, I've done about 4 hours of practice on that day, just tried really hard to get some pace, and it just didn't happen for me. I tried 3 different setups and I didn't find anything pace wise. It was so disappointing, and I don't know what to do, because I think there's certain tracks that work for you and some that don't, and this was definitely one of those tracks that just doesn't seem to work for me. I was quite angry at the time, and I pretty much ended the stream straight away. So yeah, not ideal, and not how I wanted to end the race. Hopefully the next one in Mexico will go better for me. I will try and practice even more and see if I can get more used to the camera settings, and hopefully my pace is better, really. But I am getting burned out, and I feel like my time in this game is coming to an end. But guys, if you enjoyed the video here today and me raging, spinning and retiring, then feel free to leave a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe for more daily F1 content, league racing content, crew mode content, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for that. F1 2021 just around the corner. And as always, guys, subscribe, check out 2 videos on screen. A thank you as always to the members of the channel for supporting, and I'll see you guys next time for some more league racing content. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.